I think that it's very important for us to acknowledge firsts, but there's also a downside to that because we get fixated on that piece of your identity. And it also ignores, at least for me as an Indigenous woman, as a Chicana woman, you know, my people have been here on these continents in this space for generations, before colonialism, right, before the conquest. And I grew up learning about our ancestors and the value that they've created and the contributions to STEM that they've had, and it was never in our formal education. I wasn't the first to go to college in my family, right? My parents were educated, and all of my brothers and sisters, we all have UC degrees from our bachelors. But there's this tension about that, right? By being a first, that becomes a very salient piece of your identity, and you became praised for those things that have nothing to do with you being a scientist. And so you often get labeled these things, and that's your primary identity that people want to acknowledge when you walk into a room, when sometimes we walk into a room and I want to be acknowledged as a scientist as opposed to the first. But also it ignores and erases, continues to erase traditional knowledge. So I grew up knowing that the Maya civilization created the concept of zero independent of European scientists, right, mathematicians. I grew up knowing that the Mayan calendar was more advanced than any other calendar in the world. I grew up knowing that the Azteca, the Inca, the Maya civilizations and the pyramids they created were superiorly advanced than what people acknowledge in formal education in STEM. And so there was always there's that kind of tension as well, is that when we continue to talk about our first status, it also reinforces the Western view of academia. And it also ignores the fact that there are generations of lost knowledge, right?